Good evening, fellow Dominion hunters. Welcome to the Christmas Eve into Day edition of From Day One, Part 3. Art Bell is on tap with Preston Dennett for the final part of the Out of Body Experience interview. We will also have another way to earn some extra bubbles in Winterfest on tonight's Part 3 as well. Plus, hitting through the dungeon and the guild war if we have fights that we can do to rock and roll there as well. So before further ado, let's see what's in the old proverbial mailbag from the last time. Well, not much. Two, so we'll pick up our 2 hearts. There they are. And let's head up into the air to check out the guild war fights as we return back to July 29th, 2015 with Preston Dennett, UFO paranormal and out of body experience extraordinaire. With Art Bell's Midnight in the Desert, he was taking phone calls from folks to ask questions of Preston Dennett. We now resume with those phone calls.
All right, Wallaceburg, it's midnight, you're on the air, hello. Wherever Wallaceburg is on the phone, hello?
Oh, yes. Hello, Art. How you doing? It's an honor to be part of your show. I have a question for your guest there.
Sure.
I guess I've lucid dreamed lately, but this one time, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous.
Relax, just take a deep breath.
Yeah.
We're just talking.
Sure. This one time I awoke and I was laying in bed and I saw the back of my body leaving the bedroom or getting out of bed and walking towards the bedroom door.
Wow.
And I thought it was so odd, obviously, to see myself walking away. So it's like a reverse out of the body or something. So I was wondering if he has ever experienced anything like that or what it would mean, if it has any meaning.
That is so opposite. Preston, he sees himself walking away. How could that be?
Yeah, that has happened to me. Not quite exactly that way, but that's called bilocation. And what's happening is you're conscious in either your body or your astral body. And if you're good at it, you can do both. There was one time where I was out there flying, I don't know where in God's name I was, but far away. And at the same time, I started to become aware of my bedroom. And mind you, I'm lying there with my eyes closed. But I'm like, I think I'm awake. So I opened one eye. I'm like, yep, I'm awake. At the same time, I'm out there astral traveling. And so to a certain extent, this is called bilocation. People are able to do it to the extent, that they can sit down and be physically in another place.
So this caller could probably switch positions. If he was really good at it, he could jump to the astral body that was leaving and be in that one.
Right. That's what I would recommend. Concentrate on that one and see if you can transfer your awareness to it. You should be able to.
What do you think? What do you think? You want to give it a try?
Well, it just happened. I never meant for it to happen or anything. So, and this is probably a couple of years ago now. So, sure, if it ever happens again, I would perhaps try that. But yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with it, and I hope it works. Whew. This is a lot to take in. It really is. Let's go to Nick on Skype. Hi, Nick.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Oh, sure. Just fine.
Hey, Art, long-time listener. I'm glad you're back. Real quick, I just had a question for Mr. Preston. Has he ever confused, or I don't know how to put it another way, out-of-body experiences with lucid dreaming? Because I know that as a kid, I used to practice lucid dreaming a lot. Went on message boards reading about lucid dreaming, and I feel like a lot of what he's saying reminds me
of lucid dreaming. That makes sense. Preston?
Right. Well, most people who look into this agree that they're connected. There's no doubt. I think personally that a lucid dream is when you're projecting the reality around you. But the problem is you can be out of body in one of the higher dimensions and be doing this. So the definitions blur. It's hard to say where the line is between the two, but you can project out of a lucid dream into the physical world.
Well, because
so
I have felt the whole out of body experience thing. One time I was asleep on a couch and I was in a strange place, and all of a sudden I was half awake, half asleep, and I felt like there was someone sitting on my chest. A scary voice kind of came into my head, and I sort of saw myself in the room. But that only happened one time. But I've had lucid dreamings happen. I've had lucid dreams a lot more than that. And I felt like there was a distinct difference between those two things. You don't think there's a distinct, difference between the two?
Well, there's sort of gradations, I would say. It's very hard to divide them apart because some people feel that the lucid dream is superior to the normal out-of-body experience. I think they're separate. There are certain levels to dreaming. In the very beginning, you have dreams, which are just the things you did throughout the day, the movies you saw. Then you move up to a psychological level of dreaming where you're dealing with your fears and desires. And then you bring in lucid dreaming, and you can deal with those in a conscious way. But at some point, you don't dream like a normal person. You're awake all night and never actually fall asleep. And you understand the difference between a mental projection in front of you, depending on where you are. I mean, if you're in the physical world, or if on the other side where you're manipulating things, or you're in a consensus reality, like, the heavenly realms, where everyone agrees this is, the way it is.
Okay.
So it's hard to describe.
Sure it is. All of this is hard for words. Caller, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And I'd just like to give a quick shout out to Richard Hoagland. Looking forward to his show after this. I'm really enjoying it. And just remember to think of the suicides.
Coming up at midnight. All right. So sometimes I get into this state, Preston, where I think that I have not slept all night. And frankly, I haven't slept all night. But I have been in that little tiny gray area we were talking about, in and out of it, so much that I lose track of reality. That's the only way to put it. And I might have a dream that appears to be, or seems to be, so real and so quick, and I'm just like in and out of this, if I can't sleep. Most of our dreams occur, I'm told, in that area between sleep and wakefulness. Is that true?
Right, the REM state.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
But like I said, we all go out of body every night. And the truth is we're not unconscious. We're conscious on the other side. We're talking to our relatives. We're having experiences. We're planning out our days.
Right.
And then we catch snippets of this as we go down in a gradation to the physical world. There's been times when I've been so far up there that I had to stop at each level and write this down in a dream diary, take that one down a level, write that down, and so on until I'm finally like, am I really awake now?
So I guess it's pretty common stuff. Boy, we have got to take a break, so we're going to do that. With Preston Dennett as a guest, we indeed are raging through the night from the high desert and the great American Southwest. It just keeps getting better and better.
Of course, the audio being muted just so we do not get a copyright match. We'll return when they return. From the Great American Southwest, where good old Canadian shout out Jenny 8675309 from server 48. Currently in the Great American Southwest Desert, currently having wind and blowing snow. Stay safe and continue to rock in Dominion there. While we do have a moment, let's go to that other minigame. If you take a look, we have the merchant dressed out. And you might think it's the little bells that are triggering, but actually no. If you go up to the top here, we got a little bauble. You click that bauble, you trigger the other minigame. It's going to take a moment to load in. Now this minigame is in 3 rounds. There is round 1. We have to put some puzzles together. Since we put the puzzles together, Midnight in the Desert resumes with Preston Dennett from July 29th, 2015. Art and Preston Dennett, if you'd be so kind. Take it away if you'd be so kind, please. Just waiting about 5 more seconds for the audio to catch up so the music is done. While we're waiting, let's get the puzzle pieces all neat.
Your ray of light into the darkness. Please call 1-952. Call Art. That's 1-952-225-5278.
Oh, we definitely are what's next. Hi, everybody. I'm Art Bell. This is Midnight in the Desert. My guest is Preston Dennett, and we're talking about OBEs. And I get messages on the computer, and so here is one for you, Preston. This comes from Joe. And he says, can OBEs allow you to travel to different points in time as well? Time.
Yes.
I mean, that's what the one caller said, right? He was 10.
Right. It's really startling when it first happens. You're like, what's going on? But yeah, you can travel to the past or the future. I think the future is a little bit harder because you get probable realities and you're not sure if these things are going to happen or not. But you can try to travel to the past. I tried to see the Titanic, but I was not successful.
Really?
Yeah, I figured.
So you can travel to important times in history.
People have been successful at doing this. It's sort of a psychic, investigations.
Sort of time travel, actually.
Right, absolutely. We have the ability to do this. Time is not what we think it is. It's on the physical plane, at least, it's a fault of perception. The truth is, time is simultaneous.
All right, all the way across the country. Florida, DeLand, Florida, I think. You're on the air.
Hey, Art.
Hey, caller.
Yeah. I have you to thank for all my out-of-body experiences I've had over the years.
Really? You heard some of my old shows on them?
Oh, your first show I listened to was the night Chuck Harder, you were talking about Chuck Harder was missing. I don't know if you remember that.
Man, that was a long time ago. Sure, I remember.
It was a long time ago. But my father had passed away, and my mother was an invalid. And my sister lived with her, and she used to go to work really early in the morning. I used to get up and drive over to my mother's, and what I found out was it was interrupted sleep was causing it. But you had Albert Taylor on one night.
That's right.
And he was describing it, and I had the vibration thing a couple of times, and you feel like you're going to die. I mean, it's a frightening thing.
I'm laughing, but it is frightening.
Yeah, but what I was wanting to say to you is, when you get to that point, that's as scary as it gets. Once you just are there, you just get out of bed real quick, roll out, and you'll be standing there, and it's really cool. But there's some things that I've noticed. I've had a lot of them, and there's certain things that I've read a lot of different books on it too because of it, and I've made some little bullet points. I've seen these guys. They look like monks with the hoods, like Grim Reapers without the sickle. I went to talk to one of them, and he just turned into like a stone pillar.
Really? See, that's not necessarily encouraging. That's not an ankle grab, but that's,
No, but I've had the grabbing and stuff. That's, yeah, I've had that laying in bed, and I've had a lot of these things, but there's certain things, like I've never seen the silver cord, really. One time I thought maybe, but for the most part, no.
Well, it's a good question, Preston. Do people see that cord? Do they actually see it?
I never did. I looked for it, and finally I'm like, you know what? I'm going to see it, and I finally did.
I was going to say, otherwise, how do you know it's there?
Well, it's there because enough people report it, and if you look hard enough, you can find it. For some people, it's a tiny little filament. For others, it's a big white hose.
Right.
Some people never see it at all. Some people see it symbolically.
I'd want to see it, and I'd actually want to test its tensile strength.
Exactly. Yeah, you can do that.
So you've never caller, you have finally seen it, or what?
Not really. I had an obstruction in my vision one time, but when they talk about like commanding stuff, I think it was William Buhlman had in his book about clarity now. Oh, it's unbelievable. That really, you can see good. The other thing is sometimes when you're laying there when you've got the vibration thing going on,
right?
That third eye bit, that's pretty neat because all of a sudden you can see, but your eyes are closed. But yeah, it's just quite an experience.
Well, right away, seeing with your eyes closed, that'd be a big tip off right there.
Yeah, well, how I always have done it, I've laid in bed and just focused on my breathing.
Right.
And as you breathe in, I just make like it's coming up my feet, up my legs, and then out. And while I'm relaxing, and then when you think you're relaxed, you can kind of like relax one more time. You know, you just get more limp. A lot of times I'll focus on a little shape, a triangle or a square or something.
Right.
But then the other thing that helps also for me is thinking about I think it was Albert Taylor might have said it, but thinking about where you are in your body, and it's like, 2 inches behind your eyes or whatever, and when you think about that, you get to where you don't feel your arms and legs anymore. You're just so relaxed. But that's usually when you hear the roaring sound or the people talking to you or what. I mean, it's very strange, but once anymore, I haven't had one in quite a while, but I noticed when I was doing it, I got to where I could have them pretty much every night if I wanted to, but it drains you something terrible. I mean,
sure.
If you do it back to back, couple of nights, you feel like you've been hit by a truck. I mean, and then what happens is you get so tired, you just, when you go to sleep, you just won't have one. But what did it for me was the interrupted sleep, and I didn't know what it was. And like say, going over to my mother's in the mornings there, and then laying back down to get another hour or two of sleep. And when I first had it, I didn't know whether to go to like the hospital or what, because that vibration feeling and you just feel like you're going to die, it's very unsettling. But like say, I had that several times and I had no idea what it was. But then I heard Albert on your show talking about it, and he was saying about, you have to just go with it. And it's scary to do, but the first time I did it,
well, it's easy to say. It's easy to say, but it's not so easy to actually do if you're afraid.
Well, no, I was afraid, and that was the thing. But Albert, was saying, you just got to go with it. And I just got to the point where I wasn't enjoying having the vibration thing all the time.
Oh no! And
then, like I say, as soon as you roll out, that's gone. That's the scariest part. Once you get to that point, that's as bad as it. From there on, it's just really cool. Then you can. I've stood on the moon, Art, and looked at the Earth, and picked up a handful of. It was like beach sand.
I did the same thing. Did the same darn thing.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. To hear you say that, it's so cool because that's exactly what I did.
The first night that the first time I had, I fell out of my body, and I was laying on the floor looking up at my legs on the bed, and it was like, and then boom, I was back. But then
I'll be right back to you, Art Bell. But goddamn, round 3. All right, back to their call.
The next night, I was able to completely just roll out, and I got to the foot of the bed, and I was standing there. I could see my wife and myself sleeping, and I was a little hesitant to leave the room, and I did, like triple somersaults and stuff right there. It was just amazing. And then I was back, and after that, I got brave, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go somewhere, and I dove through the front windows in the bedroom, which I thought was going to take me out into like my front yard. I ended up in the tunnel with the light at the end.
Wow.
And that was quite a ride. And I I got to the end of where the light was, and I stopped, and I thought, this isn't where I want to go right now. And I was right back up the tunnel and back in my body. Just
I was about to ask
really,
you if you considered the John Lear thing at that point, but apparently not.
yeah, no, like I say, it's a lot when you have it happen to you. It's just a lot of information all at one time because it's. And the other thing, and I forgot who it was that mentioned it.
Got to be really quick. We're coming up on break here.
I think it was Albert Taylor had mentioned about your higher self.
Right.
And I've requested that one time, well, actually more than once, but it's like an inverted tornado over your top of you, with just swirling, and it's the most intense euphoria you've ever could imagine, and it gets so intense it just bangs you right back in your body. I've never gone beyond that.
All right. Well, that is the safety return, and this is where we have to safely depart. I'm Art Bell. This is Midnight.
And again, we're muted just to make sure we do not get an audio match. Once that does resume, we will return to them. As we are now having to deal with the nasty puzzle 3 with the itty bitty pieces. Saying is, you have to do these all in one shot. If you decide to go out now, when you come back, you'll have to start again from the first puzzle. It does not keep your progress. So it is an all in one or nothing type situation. But we got to look for things that have little things like these little flames are great pieces. These baubles up here are also great pieces you can use. No, that doesn't match up. Darn it. Do these. Yes. Just looking for small pieces that match.
Found in space in carbon dioxide ice. Pyridine is one of the building blocks of vitamin B3. So the team was interested to see if it could manifest itself as vitamin B3 in these space-like conditions. The results from the experiments were promising. The researchers tested their theory by cooling an aluminum plate to negative 423 degrees Fahrenheit in a vacuum to replicate the freezing temperatures of space. The plate was then bombarded with protons to mimic space radiation that would give the gas mixture the energy to create reactions. When the sediment formed on the plate, they found a wide range of complex molecules, including B3. This is an exciting result, although it's far from proving that vitamin B3 on Earth originated from space. The next stage for these researchers will be to wait for someone to find some B3 out in space. A landmark discovery was announced by NASA this month. The possibility of a second Earth in Kepler 452b. Found by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, this planet orbits a star much like our Sun, at a distance roughly similar to the Earth. Could there be life on Earth 2.0, or even beyond? The director for SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, Seth Shostak, believes there could be. Shostak says in his video further, we might be able to learn more. We might even get a message. If we get a message, who knows what it might be? He continues by saying, on the other hand, let's assume that in the conservative case, if you will, that you don't get a message, you can't pick it up or you can't decode it. You'll never know what it means. This is Dark Matter News. The city of Berkeley, California passed a law that goes into effect next month requiring cell phone stores to inform customers about safety recommendations. The move reopened a decades-old debate about whether mobile phones cause brain tumors. The ordinance called the Right to Know law will start to require retailers to give customers a handout or display a sign in stores telling them about federal regulations on the amount of radiation that cell phones can emit and the instructions on safe phone use. The information will also go beyond the current regulations by stating that children and anyone carrying their phone in a pocket or bra could be at increased risk of radiation exposure. What the law does not require is that consumers be provided information about the specific health risks of being exposed to radiation. Researchers say that it is highly probable that long-term cell phone use can cause brain tumors. In 2011, the World Health Organization classified the kind of low-energy radiation that cell phones emit as possibly carcinogenic because of a link between cell phone use and a type of malignant brain tumor called glioma and a benign brain tumor called acoustic neuroma. Both types of brain tumors are rare. About 5 in 10,000 adults are diagnosed with glioma in the United States every year, whereas about 10 in a million people develop acoustic neuromas every year. And you know, Art Bell, he's been saying don't call the show on your cell phone for years, so maybe he's some kind of prophet. I'm Leo Ashcroft for Dark Matter News.
I guess we're back to music, so just a few seconds and we'll get back to their interviewing and phone calls. That, yep, that's his hair. Okay. Okay. Little ball in the bottom corner, that's going to be that one. Yep. You start looking for what you can find.
1-952 call Art. That's 1-952-225-5278.
And my own news guy took a shot at me. Not really. Something about cell phones. Anyway, Preston Dennett is my guest. We're discussing OBEs, and oh boy, are we ever. And he's done such a fabulous job that I really wanted to say, hey, Preston, what would you like to promote? Your website? Do you have books? Is a good opportunity to tell people how to get, I don't know, hints on how to do OBEs. I'm sure you have lots of written stuff. You must. You know so much about it.
Yeah, I do actually have a book out. It's called Out of Body Exploring, A Beginner's Approach. And you can learn more about it on my website. If you just Google my name, Preston Dennett, it'll take you right to my website, the actual website address.
Okay, it sounds like Bennett, but it's not. It's Dennett. Dennitt. Is that right?
E-T-T. It's
E-T-T. See, I didn't have it right. E-T-T. Got it. Dennett.
Right, I got all my books there, excerpts, and you can contact me through my website if you have any questions or stories you'd like to share. I'm always interested in, hearing from people about this subject and UFOs as well.
Do you ever give people personal help?
Excuse me?
Do you ever give people personal help?
Oh yeah. I counsel people through doing this. I think this is such a transformational experience, Art, that I think it's really important that people know about it.
I do too.
And oh my God, it just completely will transform your life. I really urge people to at least give it a try.
All right, good enough. Donald, your turn.
Hi, Art. Roswells.
Thank you.
To both of you, actually. I was going to ask your guest how he feels about deja vu in relation to OBEs.
Yeah, well, deja vu is a very interesting thing because I used to get it a lot, and it started to increase really profoundly when I was doing out-of-body travels. And what I found was I would have deja vu, and suddenly I would remember having this experience before to the point where I could actually predict it. I could predict the person's conversation, what was going to be on the radio, who was coming in at work, and things like this. And I realized that these were memories of the travels I had done the previous day. So scarcely a day went by where I wasn't having some sort of deja vu.
Oh wow! Do you think it's possible to transfer your soul possibly using OBEs?
Wow!
To transfer your soul
into another vessel.
Oh, yeah. This is talked about all the time. And it's also one of the concerns, by the way, Preston, what this caller brought up, and that is, let me take it from here, Donald, that while you're out of your body becomes occupied by some sort of entity that may or may not be friendly. Let's just leave it there.
Right. Well, it hasn't been my experiences that's true. What's the real case is when you're doing this work, you almost always have a guide with you, even if you don't perceive them. I felt like I was on my own, and I really still feel like that most of the time, because if I have a guide, they rarely show themselves. They have, but it's my understanding they are there, and I have not found that to be a problem, even though I've done this many, many times, and I can't find any good evidence that this has ever really occurred. And as far as inhabiting someone else, well, to a certain extent, you can perceive other people's thoughts.
Oh, well, that's not the same as inhabiting another person.
No, you can't. I mean, to kick them out of their own body or another person's body.
Well, you mentioned you can't move things, that your hand just goes right through it, or that you can walk through walls. So presumably you could walk into a person.
Right. Well, you can walk. Yeah, I've had people walk through me standing in front of them, and it's very disconcerting. You're like, oh.
Right. Disconcerting puts it mildly.
You can't stick inside them. You can't.
Okay.
I haven't tried it. But it's not something I would.
Give it a shot. Let us know how it comes out for you.
Well, I'm willing to give it a try, but it's not something. I don't want to take someone over.
I'm sort of messing with you here. Yeah, that was the obvious question. Is it possible to essentially take someone over? And you think
can influence people.
Oh.
You can, because all our thoughts are not necessarily our own. We're picking up on, this sort of telepathy, even if we don't know it. To a certain extent, some of our thoughts are influences from our spirit guides.
Have you ever influenced somebody? And in what way?
No. I have tried. I'm like, I'm here. I've talked to people on the other side, my brothers and sisters who are alive, and tried to get them to remember what they were doing, and they could not. It's very much about memory, this whole astral travel thing. It's about awareness. It's about intent.
Right.
And, focus, these sorts of things.
Okay, let's go to Edmonton, Alberta. You're on the air.
Hello, sir. Art Bell.
Hi.
Hello. It's wonderful to hear you.
Thank you.
Welcome back from everybody. I'm sure you're sorely missed. And I'm actually shocked to be on the air right now, but I got to talk about this. Now, it was years ago when I was listening to your show, and that's the reason I have a name for what happened to me.
Okay.
I had an OBE, I guess what you're talking about. I was in college, and I was going through a pretty tough time. I really wasn't ready for the experience, and I had I guess what you'd say is a peak experience where I was doing a drawing, and it was art school. I was doing a drawing in the studio. It was late at night, and I guess I kind of felt like I had a pillar of light coming from the heaven. Felt like I was really connected to everything. But then I had an anxiety attack, I guess. So went home that night, and my dad picked me up from the hospital. And mind you, no drugs here. I'm not a drug user.
No, but drugs is a very good question. We'll ask that.
Yeah, nothing like that, Art. Even back in my college days, I was a pretty straight guy. Now, what happened is I went to sleep and had the sleep paralysis. And shortly thereafter, I saw the roof of my bedroom, the stucco on the roof, and it looked like the room was bathed in a kind of like a street lamp light. Now, I missed the earlier part of the conversation, but I don't know if that's common. Now,
Preston, is there anything common about that?
Oh yeah. When you go out of body, everything glows around you. It's the whole world kind of glows, and the higher you go, the brighter it glows.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, and I had like the buzzing and all that, and there was anyway. My question is kind of, does that sort of physical and mental anxiety tend to cause those experiences? Because I haven't had a full OBE since then, though I have had sleep paralysis quite frequently, and I still have it, but it doesn't frighten me as much anymore because I kind of learned to live with it, right? It used to terrify me. Now it doesn't so much, but I wonder if you could tell me about that.
Right. Well, absolutely. Yeah. Fear of death is where this sort of thing is, I think, coming from. It's the most pervasive fear that we have. And this is something that confronts it head on. And it can cause extreme fear and anxiety and terror. And it's something that we all have to work through. And this is why it's such a great thing for, elevating you spiritually and, working along the spiritual path. This is a great way to face your fears, I guess, is
Sure.
what I'm saying.
All right, let me ask you about drugs. There are those who say they have experiences very much as you have described, or part of what you have described, with certain mind-altering drugs. Is
Right.
this an avenue you have experimented with or know about?
I have not experimented with it. I haven't taken hallucinogens or any of these so-called drugs, which do apparently have an effect like this. And I do know of a couple of cases at least where people have had drug overdoses.
Yes, and some of those people definitely go all the way to the light.
They do, and they don't always come back, but some do come back with these profound out-of-body experiences that they've had. So it's possible to do it through the influence of drugs or as a result of drugs. It's not something I would recommend.
Okay.
There are various ways of doing this. People, do what you call diet purification things. You don't have to stop eating meat. I've done this under the influence of alcohol, which is, I guess, an interesting.
That is interesting. You would think alcohol, which initially and for a very short time is a stimulant, but then becomes a depressant, I believe.
It's much harder to do. I've noticed that. It's easier to do all this stuff if you're clear-headed, if you're not an angry person, if you don't have things you've procrastinated.
Right.
All these problems. But if you can work through all this sort of baggage within your personality.
Got it. All right.
It makes it a lot easier.
All right. Let's go to Andy and whoever's with Andy in the background. Hi, Andy.
Hello, Art. Yes, it's my baby's awake and my wife. That's who you've been hearing in the background.
That's all right. Where are you?
I'm actually in San Diego County, California.
Okay. Well, on the air you are.
Yes, actually, I don't know how much time you allow per caller, but this subject really speaks to me. It's something that I've experienced my whole life, really. Just to give you a little bit of background on me, I was born and raised in Haiti, so English is really my third language, I would say.
Okay.
And growing up, I've always had this experience of being outside of my body to the point where, as a child, I thought that was normal to leave your body and have different experiences at night.
My goodness. And so it was so common that to you it was normal.
Yes, to me, I thought it was something that everybody had experienced to the point where I tried it in real life, per se, and during my dreams, I would fly all the time, and I tried that while I was awake, and I hurt my knees as a child.
Really?
Yes, I tried to fly in the hallway in my house, and I landed on my knees, and I hurt myself pretty badly. To me, that's how real it felt, to the point where I tried to replicate it when I was awake.
So you were fully awake when you did the bad deed to your knees?
Yes, I was about maybe 10 or 11 years old, and
pretty good
to
question. Let me ask Preston about that. Preston, if you can't distinguish between when you're out and when you're in, then you could do something really awful like that, right?
Well, it's interesting you bring this up because there's a number of cases where people have tried to fly as kids and they were successful. I wrote a book called Human Levitation, and it recounts a dozen cases like that, and 300 plus cases across the world.
Oh, we could so do a whole show on that. I've been wanting to fly all my life.
We can physically do that. This is something we can do on the other side, and sometimes the abilities from the other side translate here.
Yeah. But if you get it wrong, the knees hurt. If you get it wrong, you hurt your knees, right, caller?
Right. Yes, honestly, it felt real to me. It felt like I could do it at the moment. And when I did try it, it didn't end up really well for me.
Huh?
But
okay, so there you go.
The guest.
I'm sorry, I messed you up there. Repeat what you just said.
Yes, one thing I wanted to ask your guest,
Sure.
Mr. Art Bell, is that sleep paralysis, is something that I've experienced all my life, along with all these wonderful experiences.
Right.
And just to give you a little bit more about myself, I am currently an active duty member of the United States Marine Corps.
Okay.
And one time I was on the range in one Marine Corps base. I won't say which one, not to give myself away, but I was sleeping there at night, and I had the sleep paralysis experience, and again, I felt the dark presence that most people feel when they are in sleep paralysis. But this time it didn't really go away after a while like it usually does. It persisted over the night, and I felt that presence over and over again, and I was very distressed. Every time I woke up, I was paralyzed, and I felt that dark presence around me. And I felt like at one point there was a very good presence around me that came in order to help me get through that. And it showed itself to me in the form of a man.
Would this be the guide, Preston?
That's what I wanted to know. Would that be the spirit guide or the guardian angel or the higher self or whatever anybody would call it that came to me to help me through that tough time?
Yeah, that very may well be. It sounds like it. You know, the thing is, when you do these experiences, you start to increase your perception. You start to be able to see ghosts. And
yes, I have been able to see ghosts or spirits my whole life, and it became common to me after a while.
So yeah, you have to deal with that. You can sense bad energies, you can sense good energies, and it's a completely different world that we're dealing with here.
But my question was that it gave me a name. This is the first time that that anything I've seen in that weird state that I was in.
Caller, I'm going to have to go. We're so short on time. I want to say hello to Brenda very quickly. Hi, Brenda. Hello, Brenda. Going once.
Hello.
Hello. It says Brenda. Is that you?
Hello.
I repeat, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, hello. I hear an Australian accent. Speak.
Not Australian.
Oh, where are you?
New Zealand?
New Zealand, I shouldn't say close enough. It's a different country. Okay, we have only got a moment, so if you have a question, lay it on us.
Just a wonderful program tonight.
Well, that is so very kind of you to say. Thank you, and I will end it there. And once again, since we're about at the end of the show, give us your website, ways to learn more, because that's what people want.
Right. If you want to go to my website, just Google my name, Preston Dennett. The actual website is prestondennett.weebly.com. But yeah, if you just Google my name, I've got all my books up on my website.
Right.
16 or 17 of them, and a bunch of other stuff, excerpts, and I'd love to hear from people who've had this experience or want to learn how to do it, because definitely it's easy to do. You just have to take the effort and do it. Knuckle down.
Well, you obviously know a very great deal about it and have done a lot of it, which makes you such a joy to interview because, I don't know, you've been down, the good part, the bad part, you've been through it all. Preston, thank you for being on the program.
Oh, it's been an honor.
And you can be sure, I'm sure we'll do it again, buddy.
Awesome.
Midnight in the desert, shooting stars across the sky.
That is Midnight in the Desert with Preston Dennett from that interview back in 2015. We will have a new Midnight in the Desert for tomorrow night's episode. Trying to get one more so I can unlock this one to get the artifact coins and 1,500 baubles. Fortunately, we have 20 minutes before the New Day in Dominion dawns message. I'm trying to avoid failing there. Well, we can get 1,000 baubles. coins. Shunk. To unlock that one, though, we have to do it on anything that is in the holiday everyday task. So we'd have to send either a skin or an ascension gift, which is 10 or 20,000 coins. Nothing left there, nothing left there, nothing left there, nothing left there, nothing left there. Or we have to be able to get 2 gifts sent. We get to 5, I believe this will count to that. Fortunately, that means we need 1,500 coins because the cheapest gift is 750. We don't have enough to do 2, but we'll send 1 out. We've been sending a lot of camp flip. Let's send 1 to somebody else, just so they have it. Tokpol, you get this one. There you go. Doo-doo. Alright, so we need 350 more coin. Okay, we can just barely come up with it. We can use 400 baubles. Gets us 400 coin. Send another present. Send another Titan Soulstone. Present. This time, this one will go to Lamon 80. And there you are. Now, hopefully this should be enough. In the holiday every day triggers the Wishmaster. Which does trigger the King of the Party, which gets us another 1,500 bubbles. So yay, bubbles. Of course, all of those missions will reset in 20 minutes. So we can have them tomorrow. Okay, so the tower is complete. Let me take a look. Have we done the dungeon? The fungeon? See, Titanite. As it loads here. So no, we haven't. Okay. So we'll go back up. We'll check out the guild. See if we can get a fight in. And then we will go and hit out some fun dungeon. We might go a little bit into the next morning, but we'll see about that here in about 20 minutes time. So let's take a look at the GW first, the Guild War. .108 plays 40 now. Pick is leading. 1 bridge slot left. 101 now, about a little more than a third down. That means he's still got a power of about, well, for me, he's still got the full 101 now, because he hasn't even had one person. And if I attack, whatchamacallit, probably end up healing himself, which will end up making it even a better teaming in, aka we lose points. So, no thank yous for that. So we go to the not quite so happy Guild Island. Okay, 5 is not going to cut it. I think we do have enough money to do the other level up, if I can remember who else that's available to go to 4-star. There it is, Chevy Nova. Alrighty, so we have a new 4-star player on the squad. Alrighty, with that being said, let's hit the fun dungeon, for tonight's crawl. As we start at level 291. $32,069 is where the team starts. Again, Nexters, this is better as a video rather than an audio fight. Thank you. And there we go. So we get our Titanite in 25. So we can march on. And we'll take the easy win on there. Alright, while we're waiting and figure we can get a little more audio, let's go to one of those First Amendment frauditors. Well, auditors. We're going to Greensboro, North Carolina. Tennessee, sorry. Jeremiah Payne is our current idiot of the afternoon. Warning in advance, there may be some adult language. Watchers and listeners are advised.
I was asleep. You was asleep? Yeah.
I wasn't. I've been watching my phone.
You what?
I wasn't asleep. I was watching my phone.
I wasn't.
She's been watching her tablet. I have a doctor's appointment.
You have a doctor's appointment?
Yeah.
Well, they came to the door trying to get you and they said y'all was asleep. No, they just talked to us.
Yeah, Dr. Mullins just came out here.
Step up, G.
I was
Why am I stepping out?
crying
Talk to him over there.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
How are you?
good.
Huh?
Because we got a call that said y'all was passed out. Okay? So it concerns.
So we're passed out. Cops are there. Everything should be perfectly fine, you think, hey? Just tell the cops identify, you go in, you do your doctor's appointment you're claiming you have. Everything would be perfect deal, especially with a kid in the car. You know, pretty valid reasoning and concern for somebody, you know, maybe a call to have it checked. No problem here so far. Alright, let's see how stupid this gets, though.
Sleep. I laid up. I was
here watching my
sitting back asleep. Yeah,
I have a doctor's appointment at 3:15, and Skylar was late at 3:15. I called when I got here. They're coming for it right here. I've been sitting with bronchitis for like a month and a half.
You know what time it is, right?
Yeah, I've been sitting here waiting. I called when I got here at 3:15.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I called him when I got here at 3:15. Told him I was on the side door. Because that's what they say to come if you're sick. So you don't come in the front email sick. That's what they always say to come. So I told him I was back here. They said they would send somebody out. So Dr. Long came out a second ago and asked me if I was okay. And I said, yeah. I mean, I didn't hear him. He tapped on my window. No.
Okay, I'm sorry. That is the cutest kid ever. And of course, we have the two most stupidest parents in the universe. However, unfortunately, with the cutest kid, why is it always that way? Cute kids, smart kids, really, 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 really dumb parents. But I digress. Let's hear more of this idiot story.
I said, yes. I was watching my phone, and she was watching her tablet. Me and her been sitting here playing. He was asleep. He's been asleep. I wasn't. I was watching my phone.
I was the one asleep.
I was watching my
Yeah,
tablet.
they thought I was asleep too. Yeah.
That's a lie, man.
No,
That's a straight up lie. I was the one asleep. Them two was awake.
Oh yeah,
I didn't want you to your daughter. You got a little closer.
Oh yeah.
No,
but I was the one that dozed off.
Officers, he's an idiot. Why don't you just take him out now, get it over with, save us all the trouble. No? We want to listen to more of this moron? Alright, Mr. Payne, go right ahead. Continue to be stupid. No, let's go.
Putting in job applications, and it's I don't know any job where you walk up to it, fill out the application, and they hire you right on.
McDonald's, Burger King, Walmart, most grocery stores, Hy-Vee, Winn-Dixie, Kroger. Need I continue?
Come on, guys. Try.
Not.
No, you're not.
The daughter was awake.
Same thing if I would have thought she was going through sleep like he was playing. No, she was sitting here with us.
It's too cold. Get
Me
back
and her
away
were
from the
talking.
window.
She's been watching Howdy, I think, on tablet.
Yeah.
And I was just watching a TV show. Just waiting. Honestly. I just figured they're backed up.
You have your license on you?
Because I've seen Lacey come to his nurse come to the door. With, not for me, but for a couple of times with other people.
Why ain't he out of the car?
Why am I stepping out of the car?
You step.
Because the officer asked you to, you frickin' moron. The officer gives you a lawful order, you get your fucking ass out of the fucking car.
Step out so he can speak to you.
Me.
Am I being detained?
Damn. Here, come here, Bugs.
You are business for his license, right?
I did ask for his
What's your name, man?
I'm not giving it, man. I have not.
Get him out.
Oh, he went dumb stupid.
Why are y'all pulling me out of the car?
Because you're dumb!
Why are you putting your hands on me?
Because you're really dumb!
Name or information. We don't know if you have active warrants or you killed somebody down the street.
I have not committed no crime for you to get my information.
Look, you're an idiot. You e-bag everyone on the internet because you claim you can't get a job, even though I've named multiple ones. Yes, they're not the absolute best jobs in the universe, but they are jobs. And the cops are perfectly allowed, especially when you have a kid in the car.
I have a Fourth Amendment right. I'm just turning the phone where you see.
Just keep your hands up there.
I'm not gonna do.
I didn't say you were, but don't be turning around reaching.
I wasn't reaching. I was turning the phone around. He's searching me, y'all. Illegally searching me.
Up here, okay?
I'm not reaching nowhere. I'm
Okay,
just.
well, don't be. Put your hand back toward him.
Man, y'all are acting fucking ridiculous, man.
What's your name?
I'm not giving it. I have not committed no crime.
Okay.
One is an idiot. If a cop asks you, and especially when you're in handcuffs, that probably means you're under arrest, you fucking identify.
We're in Greenberg, Tennessee, y'all. That's my. Nothing. It's a receipt.
Jesus. Do you understand why we got called, bro?
No.
I don't think Jesus has anything to do with this, bro. And more importantly, these guys got called because you had a freaking kid while you were sleeping, hunched over, and otherwise looked like you could be, somewhere 6 shades to the wind of stupidity. Yet you want to go ahead and try to pull a sovereign citizen routine, but I don't want to identify. Jesus Christ. Alright, back to the
I was asleep.
Okay, I mean, look, think about it. What's the biggest problem right now going on?
I'm being illegally searched, and y'all are gonna fucking be sued. Y'all don't know who I am.
Well, we try to ask him, he won't tell us.
Yes, Your Honors, he is a moron extraordinaire. That is who he is. Now you know who he is.
Y'all are gonna find out by tomorrow when this video goes multi-fucking viral.
Multi-fucking viral. Oh, that means you're gonna have half of my views. When I get what, 20 per video? That means you get 10. Oh, that must be. God, if that's multi-fucking viral 10, man, I am off the fucking chain. Oh God, I love that idea. I guess 20 is awesome. Haha, because he's getting 10. Okay.
What's the deal? That's my medicine. Why is it busted open?
I don't know, put it in your pocket. Yeah. I mean, it would have been super simple to say, here's my license or here's my name.
My lyrical? I have a prescription for it.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Sam, do you have my bottle?
What are you asking for, sir?
This bottle for lyrical.
You have the lyrical bottle?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Oh dear, you have a drug without the bottle? Dude, for anybody who's ever had prescription medications, you keep them in the friggin' bottle!
I get them from here. I mean, so. Y'all can call Walgreens.
Well, we can't ask him because we don't know what his name is. He can't give us his name.
Can I hand the phone to my wife?
Hey,
I was going to hand it to her.
You got a knife up, right? I didn't know you was reaching for the phone. I'm sorry.
Did you notice that nice little deal? He goes, well, you could ask them. I get them here. Cap's like, well, no, we can't because you refuse to give us your name.
Can you hand the phone to my wife? Sam, record this shit.
It's still recording, and we have it recording right there as well.
I don't care. I want my phone recorded.
Let's do.
Look, officer.
Look, officer, he is a fucking moron. You know, he wants to get those 10 big views to be half of what I give for one of these Hero Wars battles. You know, he thinks he'll get rich.
Record this now. They're doing all this to me because I was asleep, dude. What the fuck?
Do you have a prescription?
No, they're not doing this because you were asleep, dude. They're doing this because you were a fucking asshole who wouldn't go ahead and say, hey, I'm such and such when they asked.
For the pills you have in your pocket.
Give my doctor and I will have them
We're not
verify.
going to have your doctor come out here. This is your business. We're trying to give you benefit of the doubt, all right?
Look in my backpack and see if it's in. I think I left the bottle at home. That's the reason why I had to fill in my pocket. I know I have.
Oh, I think you're going to jail. This ought to be fun. By the way, in the U.S., you are required anytime you have a controlled substance like a certain particular prescription that you have to keep them in the container. If you do not keep them in the container that they come to from the pharmacy, you must have the actual prescription on you, or you can be charged with a felony.
Joe ain't done nothing wrong, baby.
Come on. No, I can't see what you're doing. There's a big knife in there. You give us the all right. We'll be right back. All right. You're good. Just a second. You want to hand me the bag? Where's it supposed to be? No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. We didn't say you were. We explained to you while we were here, and think about it. If we got two people asleep in a car, or appear to be asleep, and the kid just bouncing around, and it's in the parking lot of a doctor's office, I mean, okay, and that's why we're here. That's all.
I do apologize.
I do apologize, Your Honor, but these people are fucking morons. They don't know how to actually have a brain cell. This guy's very, unemployed. By the way, let's see another way how he begs.
Please, guys, I need y'all's help. I don't have family that I can ask for help.
I like
the way this moron is a moron!
Doing audits now 4 years, and I think I've asked for help now. This is the third time.
Well, we don't. I mean, I'm sure if they know you, they probably not the one to call. It's probably it could be somebody at the gas station or something like that. It's your prescription model we're looking for.
Well, there you have it.
There
folks.
you have it. There's our moron for the day. He's going to jail because he's an asshole and an idiot. Because he doesn't know how to go ahead and actually keep his drugs and, not be an asshole to a cop. In other words, if you know you got a problem, you might not want to be an ass. Alright, let's do our guild fights. And we're trounced. We got 1 point. Well, we took one of their guys out. Let's see now with only 3 if it does any better. I highly doubt it, but we'll see. There goes 2 down. 3. 4, and that rock disappears, of course, before it gets count. And 5. Well, I think we got one of theirs again. 2 points. And, well, it's just touch for whoever else is going to finally open it. Alrighty, so the new day in Dominion Falls, it fell just as we were doing that last fight. So let's head up to the sanctuary real quick while we're on bonus time. We have extra portal charges because we grabbed the eggs, hence the 8 counter up in the top corner. Alrighty, chapter 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is one doing team battle 4? Let's see. He's totally done his fight, so let's hop in. Sorry. Alrighty, so we have the middle and left paths to go. And the idiot tried to go up the middle rather than taking out his particular tower. Son of a bitch. Alright, let's go left bound. Hate people when they don't do what they're supposed to do for their fight. Because it can, like, melt down on everyone else. Let me mark that particular midnight in the desert as a possibility. Oh, he's looking for... And while we have a few minutes, let's have a little more John Pinette. This from the Great Meat Recall. John, if you'd be so kind.
in London, and I was starving. And they said, we have tea. We're not open for dinner, but we have tea. Oh, that'll fill me right up. And they said, no, we have sandwiches with the tea. Mine had a cucumber in it. That's pickle. That comes with the sandwich. Take mine back and put a sandwich in it. I tried porridge for breakfast. I didn't know they made a turnip breakfast cereal. For breakfast in England, I ordered a bacon and egg sandwich. Sounds good, but the bacon, it's different. It's all wrong. It's not like Canadian bacon or U.S. bacon. It's about this. I know bacon. I think you know I know bacon. I had a bacon newsletter for years. It was about this thick, and it wasn't cooked properly. Now, when I look at something and go, you know what? That ain't healthy. You can take that to the bank. So I wouldn't eat the bacon and egg sandwich. I ate the side dish with it. What do they give you for side dish in England for breakfast? Home fries, hash browns, fresh fruit, nay. They give you beans. Oh, good. They start me off in the morning. Empty stomach, cup of black coffee with some beans. Now let's walk me around London for a little while. Get me all trimmed up. Put me in a taxi and see what happens. I blew the doors off the taxi. They thought it was a bombing. I heard, Scotland Yard pointing guns at me. If he has gas again, shoot on my command. What are you giving me beans for? I worked in France for 3 months in Nice, the south of France. I enjoyed it. France is not like Montreal. It is very different. Montreal has a uniqueness to it. You can learn French here. You can speak English. In Nice, I stayed at a 5-star hotel, and I went to the concierge and I said, "Excuse me, do you know where I can get some breakfast?" "Je ne comprends pas, monsieur." You know what I'm saying? You're watching CNN in English. Where's breakfast? I like France, but don't expect Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast to be there when you get off the plane, be our guest. We went to French bistros every night, and I was dying for Italian food. I love some French food, but too much with I don't eat seafood. There's a lot of salad. And I was all like omeleted out and pomme frites. I don't want to see another pomme frite. I'm telling everybody, do you know where there's an Italian restaurant? I'm dying for Italian food. Nobody said anything. About 6 weeks into the shoot, we're at a bistro, and I say, I would love Italian food. Somebody that we've been with for 6 weeks says, well, we're only a 45-minute drive to Italy from here. Why don't we go there? Yes, why don't we do that? I'll kill you later because I need directions. Get in the car. I'm eating pomme frites that went down the street from the motherland. 45-minute drive took me 11 minutes. I could have ran it in 45. American party, she was so naughty. Leave this all up, this right. They got a kick out of me in Italy. Oh, yeah. I speak a little Italian. I can say, feed me, I'm hungry. It's sono affamato. I can say it in 27 languages. I can write it in hieroglyphics if I have to. If I go back in the time machine, I want to be covered. to this little mom and pop restaurant. The waiter's name was Luigi. He was also the owner. In Italy, there's no such thing as an all-you-can-eat buffet. That's just the way it is. And I said, Luigi, sono affomato. Look at you, eh? He said, sono affomato. Giuseppe, come in here. Say it to Giuseppe. Say it. Sono affomato. Look at you, eh? You son of a bitch. And I said, I'm dying of hunger. It's morta de fame. Morta de fame. We're gonna feed you. You're gonna explode all over the wall. I said, could we order? He said, no. First, we're gonna bring out some food. And that's when I heard the angels. I thought it was going to bring out like an antipasto. He brought out antipasto, fried calamari, potato and gnocchi, pollo bodostano, eggplant milanese. And he says, now we come, we take your order. You're not scaring me. They brought out food for hours. We were fighting amongst ourselves. Stop ordering, this is enough. I didn't order this. I didn't order this either. They're just bringing out stuff. Let's get out of here. We had a friend with us, Timmy. He was too skinny. We should have known. He shouldn't have come. Halfway through the meal, he died. And they kept on trying to feed him. They were smacking him. What's the matter? You don't like it? He's dead. Pass that over here. I always eat when I'm sad. The third hour, you know how when you're full, you unbuckle your pants a little bit? Well, mine went down around my ankles. Then they were chasing me with cannolis. They were going to kill me like they killed Timmy. But I got out of there. What's the matter? You don't let me get? Well, 5 years ago, I bought a house in Vegas. It's a little hot for me in the summer. I didn't think of that. I thought gambling, buffets, So I love Vegas, and I still work there. I stay at the hotel, I take the elevator to work, but ultimately the decision was that I would leave Vegas, sell a house in Vegas, and buy a house in Pennsylvania. Me and my family. Now I got a great family, but I don't know if I should live near them. I like Pennsylvania. I live near the Amish. Yeah, in my act I talk mostly about my own life. I don't mind making light of myself. I don't mind talking about my own journey. I don't like to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't like to be mean. The Amish, I say horrible shit about them. It never gets back to them. They don't know. They see me in many ways. So I have two older sisters and their families that live in Pennsylvania. And I'm not married yet. And I've had no eyebrows for the past 2 years. So the dating scene's been difficult. But I think they feel as if they should help me. Well, one sister said to me, I'll be your interior decorator. I don't know what that means. I grew up poor, not the kind of poor where you go, oh, we were poor, but we never knew it. I was certain, and I was not happy about it. So this whole interior decorating thing is very new to me. And I don't like it. The house looks great. She did a beautiful job. She really did. You go home, and it's a home. I like it. But the process, she took me to 80 different furniture stores. I almost killed one guy. I picked out the couch, and I said, I'll take this. He said, we'll order it for you. It'll take about 15 weeks. It's right here. Help me get it in the truck. He said, no, this is our floor model. If we give you this, people won't know what we have. But you don't have it. So help me get it in the truck. sister tried to help me. I come out off the road. They unpacked my bags. I never unpacked my bags before. I always just kept 2 bags packed for the road. Well, they put everything away on me. They come into my house and they arrange it and everything's put away. And then I say, where'd you put all my stuff? I got to pack to go back on the road again. And they said, it's away. Well, where? Away. You know, it's a mythical place, like Narnia. They don't know where. So now, on my days off from the road, I have to look at all the stuff. Look for all the stuff that they put away. So I wander around the house, looking for all my stuff that I have on the road that went away. Why does everything I love go away? And the neighbors see me wandering around the house because I have no blinds. I don't. My sister got an estimate for the blinds. They're a lot of money. Did you know that? $10,000. I'm not paying that. I walk around naked long enough, the neighbors will chip in. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Lipinski! I'm your new neighbor! Oh, look, a check and a letter from the Homeowners Association. My family likes to go on family reunions. And they usually pick a place that I won't be happy with. Because I guess I'm pretty funny when I'm raging. They usually take me to Disney World in August. That's the best time to go. It's really hot. Let's take John out and walk him around the world. My nieces and nephews, when we're at Disney World, they usually take me to a water park because they want to see what will happen to me. It's one of the things I have to say nay to. I love the water. I'm a great swimmer. But the water parks, they have horrible rides. This one, there was a giant slide. And it was like 20 stories high. And there was no elevator.
Thank you, John. Just to finish his little story, he gets up, hydroplanes because he claims the pool is too small, shoots out into the parking lot, wrenches back to the front, and they want him to pay again. Alright, 13 away for Albus to level up. A lot of the puts are getting close to getting another star, but not quite. So with that, I think our extra time is going to be done. We will see you tomorrow on Christmas for another round of From Day One. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Get us to those 5,000 views, 1,000 subscribes, so that, you know, Boxy, that crazy chick over in Extras, will actually pay attention to us and give us some gifts. CoinBase.com/join/you personally get $10 free Bitcoin to make purchases here in Dominion. And remember, release the Krakens. See you tomorrow for more Winterfest.